Good morning everyone. I am Rhea Sinha, your assistant teacher, and today we are going to start a new chapter of geography, that is chapter number 8, Human Environment Interactions, the tropical and the subtropical region. In this chapter we will basically come to know about the lifestyle and the way of living, the climatic condition and everything about the tropical and the subtropical region. Okay, so let's see the chapter. A story is given here through which we will try to understand the chapter, the concept of it. Renuka was excited. Shrikant uncle was home after a gap of nearly 4 months. He was a wildlife photographer and travelled widely. Renuka's interest in wildlife and forest began at an early age, when her uncle introduced her to books on nature. Pictures of distant lands and people who lived there always fascinated her. Renuka was excited because her Shrikant uncle, was home after 4 months. He was a wildlife photographer, so Renuka's interest in wildlife and forest began at an early age when her uncle introduced her to books on nature. So she always fascinated by these things. In these pictures, Renuka, you can see people from different parts of the world. Some from dry deserts, some from frozen lands, and some from hot wet rainforest. They look so different from me, observed Renuka. When her uncle, Shrikant uncle, introduced her with different types of people who used to live in different parts of the world, then she observed that they look so different from each other and even from Renuka. So they may look different, but they share the same basic needs of life, food, clothing and shelter. Obviously, if we are not looking similar, it doesn't mean that we are totally different. Some of the common things are still there. We all need air to live. We all need water to live. So these are some basic things that we all need. Their children do the same things as you probably do. Play games, quarrel sometimes, and then make up, sing, dance, and help the families with various things that need to be done. They live closer to nature and very early in their lives have learned to care for nature. They learn how to catch fish and how to collect material from the forest. So in chapters 8, 9 and 10, we will learn about the life of people in different natural regions of the world. Here, life in the Amazon basin is given. First of all, see the Amazon basin. It is in the South America. See the map. It is a part of South America. The area from which the Amazon River used to flow, known as Amazon Basin. Basically, when Spanish explorers discovered the Amazon River, they were attacked by a group of local tribes wearing headgears and grass skirts. These people reminded them of the fierce tribes of women warriors known in ancient Roman Empire as the Amazons, and hence the name it got Amazon. So see the life in the Amazon basin. So before learning about the Amazon basin, let us look at the map and notice that the tropical region lies very close to the equator, between 10° north and 10° south. It is referred to as the equatorial region. The river Amazon flows through this region, and now notice how it flows from the mountains to the west and reaches the Atlantic Ocean to the east. The place where a river flows into another body of water is called the river's mouth. Numerous distributaries or tributaries join the Amazon River to form the Amazon Basin. The river basin drains portions of Brazil, parts of Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, and a small part of Venezuela. Okay, next topic is climate. Climate of Amazon Basin. As you now know, the Amazon Basin stretches directly on the equator and is characterized by hot and wet climate throughout the year. Both day and nights are almost equally hot and humid. The skin feels sticky. It rains almost every day, and that too without much warning. The day temperatures are high with very high humidity. At night, the temperature goes down but the humidity remains high. So this is the climatic condition of Amazon Basin. Here both day and night are almost equally hot and humid, obviously, and because of it the skin feels sticky. It rains almost every day. The day temperatures are high and with very high humidity, and at night temperature goes down but humidity remains high. Now see the rainforest. As it rains heavily in this region, thick forests grow. The forests are in fact so thick that the dense roof created by leaves and branches does not allow the sunlight to reach the ground, as we have learnt in the earlier chapter also about tropical rainforest. So the ground remains dark and damp. Only shade-tolerant vegetation may grow here. Orchids, bromeliads grow as plant parasites. The rainforest is rich in fauna. Birds such as toucans, hummingbird, bird of paradise with their brilliantly colored plumage, oversized bills for eating make them different from birds we commonly see in India. These birds also make loud sounds in the forest. Animals like monkeys, sloth, and ant-eating tapirs are found here. Various species of reptiles and snakes also thrive in these jungles. Crocodiles, snakes, pythons abound. Anaconda and boa constrictor are some of the species. And besides, the basin is home to thousands of species of insects. Several species of fishes, including the flesh-eating piranha fish, is also found in the river. And this basin is thus extraordinarily rich in the variety of life found there. Bromeliad are basically special plants that store water in their leaves, and animals like frog use these pockets of water for laying their eggs. People of the rainforest. People grow most of their food in small areas after clearing some trees in the forest. While men hunt and fish along the rivers, women take care of the crops. People who are living in the rainforest, they grow most of their food in small areas after clearing some of the trees in the forest. Men usually hunt and women take care of the crops. So they mainly grow tapioca, pineapple, and sweet potato. As hunting and fishing are uncertain, it is the women who keep their families alive by feeding them in the vegetable they grow. They practice slash and burn agriculture. Now see, what do you mean by slash and burn agriculture? Slash and burn is a way of cultivating land where farmers clear a piece of land by slashing or cutting down trees and bushes. These are then burnt which releases the nutrients into the soil, and now crops are grown uh, in this cleared field for a few years. After repeatedly growing the patch, growing up, cultivating the patch of land, soil loses its nutrients, so it is abundant. Then they clear another plot of land to plant, and in the meantime, young trees grow in the old field, and in this way, soil fertility is restored. People can then return to it and start cultivating it again. So, the staple food is manioc, which is also known as cassava, that grows under the ground like the potato. They also eat queen ants and egg sacs. Cash crops like coffee, maize, and cocoa are also grown. The rainforest provide a lot of wood for the houses. Some families live in thatched houses shaped like beehives. There are other large apartment like houses called maloka with a steeply slanting roof. Life of the people of the Amazon basin is slowly changing. In the older days, the heart of the forest could be reached only by navigating the river. In 1970s, the Trans-Amazon Highway made all the parts of the rainforest accessible. Aircrafts and helicopters are also used for reaching various places. The indigenous population was pushed out from the area and forced to settle in new areas where they continued to practice their distinctive way of farming. The developmental activities are leading to the gradual destruction of the biological diverse rainforest. And it is estimated that a large area of the rainforest has been disappearing annually in the Amazon basin. You can see that this destruction of forest has a much wider implication. See figure 8.6, it is clearly shown there. In the first picture, see a lot of trees are there. In the second picture, some developmental activities were shown. And in the third picture, all the modifications were there. All the things are done, but the number of trees are less. So the topsoil is washed away as the rains fall, and the lush forest turns into a barren landscape. Okay, now see life in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The tributaries of rivers Ganga and Brahmaputra together form the Ganga Brahmaputra basin in the Indian subcontinent. You can see the map even, it is given there, figure 8.8. The basin lies in the subtropical region that is situated between 10° north to 30° north latitudes. 10° north to 30° north is the latitudinal position of Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The tributaries of the river Ganga like the Ghagra, the Son, the Chambal, the Gandak, the Kosi, and the tributaries of the Brahmaputra drain it. The plains of the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, the mountains and the foothills of the Himalayas and the Sundarbans delta are the main features of this basin. Oxbow lakes dot the plain area. The area is dominated by monsoon climate. Climatic condition of this area is monsoon type. So the monsoon brings rains from the mid-June to mid-September. The summers are hot and the winters cool. The basin area had varied topography also. The environment plays a dominant role in the distribution of the population. The mountain areas with steep slopes have inhospitable terrain. Therefore, less number of people live in the mountain areas of the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The plain area provides the most suitable land for human habitation. The soil is fertile. Agriculture is the main occupation of the people where flat land is available to grow crops. The density of the population of the plains is very high and the main crop is paddy. Since cultivation of paddy requires sufficient water, it is grown in the areas where the amount of rainfall is high. Wheat, maize, sorghum, gram and millets are the other crops that are grown in the Ganga-Brahmaputra basin. Cash crops like sugarcane and jute are also grown. Banana plantations are seen in some areas of the plain. In West Bengal and Assam, tea is grown in plantations. Silk is produced through the cultivation of silkworms in parts of Bihar and Assam. In the mountains and hills, where the slopes are gentle, crops are grown on terraces. Means mountains and hills are usually cut into the shape of terrace, and then terrace farming. People used to do their terrace farming. The vegetation cover of the area varies according to the type of landforms. In the Ganga and Brahmaputra plain, tropical deciduous trees grow along with teak, sal and peepal. Thick bamboo groves are common in the Brahmaputra plain. The delta area is covered with the mangrove forest. In parts of Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh, coniferous trees like pine, deodar and fir can be seen because the climate is cool and the slopes are steep. There is a variety of wildlife in the basin. Elephants, tigers, deer and monkeys are common. The one-horned rhinoceros is found in the Brahmaputra plain. In the delta area, Bengal tiger, crocodiles and alligator are found. Aquatic life abounds in the fresh river waters, the lakes and the Bay of Bengal Sea. The most popular varieties of the fish are the rohu, katla and hilsa. Fish and rice is the staple diet of the people living in the area. The Ganga-Brahmaputra plain has several big towns and cities. The cities of Allahabad, Kanpur, Varanasi, Lucknow, Patna and Kolkata, all with the population of more than 10 lakhs, are located along the river Ganga. The wastewater from these towns and industries is discharged into the rivers. This leads to the pollution of the rivers. All the four ways of transport are well developed in the Ganga-Brahmaputra basin. In the plain areas, the roadways and railways transport the people from one place to another. The waterways is an effective means of transport, particularly along the rivers. Kolkata is an important port on the river Hooghly. The plain area also has a large number of airports. Tourism is also another important activity of the Ganga-Brahmaputra basin. Taj Mahal on the banks of river Yamuna in Agra, Allahabad on the confluence of the rivers Ganga and Yamuna, Buddhist stupas in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Lucknow with its Imambara, Assam with Kaziranga and Manas with wildlife sanctuaries, and Arunachal Pradesh with a distinct tribal culture are some of the places worth a visit. Okay, now we have completed the explanation of chapter number 8. Hope you all understood this chapter well. Thank you and have a nice day.